Welcome to the No Judgment Zone educational session. Let's learn about TBI, for edification is key.
The brain is a delicate structure in the human anatomy. Let's talk about the subject, traumatic brain injury, also known as TBI. So what about traumatic brain injury, also known as TBI? Let's dive into the subject a bit. Studies suggest that age and the number of TBIs a person has suffered over his or her lifetime are two critical factors that impact recovery. Brain swelling in newborns, young infants, and teenagers often happens much more quickly than it does in older people. Evidence from health scholars' studies suggests that younger people, ages 20 to 40, tend to have more behavioral and mood changes with cognitive trauma, while those who are older, ages 50 plus, tend to have more cognitive difficulties. Now, compared with younger adults with the same TBI, traumatic brain injury severity, older adults are more likely to have lasting symptoms. Older people often have other medical issues, so to speak, and may be taking multiple medications, so to speak, which may complicate treatment as well, so to speak. For example, blood thinning medications may increase the risk of bleeding in the brain, so to speak. Now, let's get a little deeper into this subject, traumatic brain injury, also known as TBI. A traumatic brain injury is a brain damage from an external force, like a blow, jolt, or penetrating object, causing physical, mental, emotional, and functional problems that can range from temporary to severe and lifelong, with common causes, including falls, car accidents, and even assaults. Symptoms vary, but often include headaches, confusion, memory issues, dizziness, mood changes, and difficulty concentrating, requiring prompt medical attention, at times for diagnosis and/or treatment, to manage short-term or long-term effects. Some other causes that comes from traumatic brain injury, one may allude to, as well as scholars have found, comes from falls, common in young children and older adults, possibly vehicle accidents such as motor vehicle, motorcycle, and bicycle crashes. Also, unfortunately, assaults. Could be domestic violence, struck by or against an object. Also, penetrating injuries, objects piercing the skull, unfortunately, like bullets, sharp objects. Now, let's take a deeper look at some of the kinds of traumatic brain injury. We have one that's called blunt closed TBI, wherein the brain bounces or twists inside the skull. Example, a concussion. Also, another traumatic brain injury is called penetrating open TBI, where the object pierces the skull and brain tissue. Also, another one that is called traumatic brain injury is called the primary TBI. Immediate damage from the impact. Another form is called secondary TBI. Gradual damage from the body's reaction, which includes swelling, bleeding. This could possibly be hours or days later. Now, what are some of the symptoms of TBI? Some of the common symptoms that are physical and evident are headaches, dizziness, fatigue, nausea, vomiting, vision problems, balance issues, seizures. Also, there is cognitive confusion, emotional behavior, sleep disorders, vomiting, slurred speech.
Traumatizing conditions of our health is not a joke. It's much more complicated than it seems on the surface. I strongly believe in understanding a matter before judging.